Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cropper here. It's very exciting news. We've got probably some full-time students. We set up a Saturday school. We had 4 students come and stayed till around 3:30ish. I'll show you some videos, some of the things we did, basically a small interview with them, see where they're at, then work with them on some things. Then I said to them at the end of this day, I said, do you want to do some Sunday school? And I didn't mean church. And so I said, okay, tomorrow if you want to, come on over at like noonish and we'll do some Sunday school. The next day, Bobby Sue came into the bedroom at 8:30 and said, you've got students waiting out there. Sunday morning. I thought I was going to sleep a little while longer, you know, have a nice relaxed Sunday morning. I had 2 students waiting in the classroom for me. Came out here and we got going. Didn't finish, we didn't all disperse and go our separate ways until 3 that afternoon, in which time we had gotten 3 more students. So we had a hustling, bustling class of 5 students on Saturday, or pardon me, on Sunday, after having had 4 students on Saturday. Now, there were 2 other students who were supposed to be coming around. We will see about that. These students that I have coming for the Saturday school, the deal was, if you go during Saturday and after week a few times, after school a couple times over the next week or 2, and you like it, then you can be withdrawn from school and go full-time with Mr. Cropper. If not, then you stay in school with your friends, right? Across the board, these kids were saying, nah, I don't really want to stop going to school. That was one of the first questions I asked them. Would you be interested in going to a school with maybe 5 kids and not be with your friends at school anymore? And they just say, no, that's ridiculous. Then they come here and they spend a couple hours with me, some video of which I'm about to show you. And it is completely inspiring, and so we've got 3 of them who are most certainly going to want to be full-time here. And one young man was saying to his mother, I hope that I can convince Mr. Cropper that I'll be a good student and he'll let me in his school. So, I mean, that's fine, I'll let him in. So, there's no admissions problems in this little town. If I was in New York and had credentials and 700 people for a 50-people school, then I would be screening. I'll take any kid that'll come in and try to learn. And they said, some of the kids that were asking me, what happens if there's problems, if we like misbehave, we won't sit down and stuff. And I said, well, this is not like the public schools. Public schools, they have to put up with you. I don't. So if you're disrupting the class, we'll send you back to the public schools. And that sobered the kid who was being like, haha, we won't even have to behave very much anymore. We'll be at Mr. Cropper's little classroom instead of being in regular school. Wrong. You'll be learning here. And they love it. They love it. I suspect that their attention spans will get longer the more practiced they are at thinking and paying attention and staying on task. Right now they're just fresh out of the public school mentality, and it's hard to keep them focused for more than 30 minutes maybe on a task. And then what I was doing on this Saturday in Sunday school was I had 2 computers set up, my old one and the new one that I just got, and there were games going on those. So I had 2 kids, 3 kids maybe working with something, and 1 or 2 kids on the computers on games. They get tired of the games after a while, and this kid's tired of working on their spelling, so we switcheroo. Here, you go over here or work on some clay. Some molding clay we have around to play with. And I'm going to work with him on math for a while. And it was just a hustling, bustling little classroom. Like I say, their attention spans will grow as they mature and become more able to deal with focusing. But it's working out pretty well, and we're looking forward to possibly doing full-time class. Monday, September 29th would be the day. That's 2 weeks before what I'm officially publicly announcing as the first day. So basically I'm going to have a 2-week period of enrollment. It looks like I'm going to have a class of 3 kids easily, up to 5 just right now, and then I've been so busy working with these kids the last 2 days I didn't have any time to do anything else. I persevered as long as I could in the other circumstances, looking for students, handing out business cards, talking to co-workers, getting a student who was then withdrawn because I didn't have any other students. And perseverance pays. I just kept plugging along, and then I said, you know, I haven't succeeded this way, let me try this other, and here I am, and it looks good. It looks like we might soon have, I might have to get up and deal with kids for 7 or 8 hours a day, 5 days a week soon. That would be fun and exciting. I've been looking forward to it. So the one thing that's been frustrating, everything's been very exciting except for discussions with the parents about this. The parents are very worried, very worried. Lisa Van Dam had warned me. She said the biggest obstacle we have faced, we thought the biggest obstacle would be convincing the parents that they really can do a good education for the kid. It really is a better education. We're actually doing a better education than the private schools, blah, 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 blah. That, they're like, okay, fine, but the kid's going to be a social retard, isn't he? You're going to take my son and turn him into a congenital retard who can't talk to people, who can't, he doesn't have any friends, never goes out, that sort of thing. That has been the biggest obstacle that I've faced also. The idea that a large school and a large group of kids is what's important, even if the kid's not learning a lot. That's not really important as long as he learns to get along in society and socialize and stuff. This is really vulgar nonsense, but this is what people believe very thoroughly and deeply. And I think it has something to do with the public school indoctrination we've all been put through. There is an idea that you should never want to be alone. You should never spend time by yourself. It is bad, bad, bad to spend time by yourself. If you like to spend time by yourself, there is something wrong with you. I think that's a very, very bad message to send children. I know it's a bad message to send children because I know that a mentally healthy person needs time by themselves. And to just drive it into their heads constantly, every single day, spend time with others, have friends, be around others, don't be by yourself, is a profoundly unhealthy influence on them. So, because of this constant propaganda in favor of being around other people and having groups and stuff, people now believe that the schools are an important aspect of growing up. You're around other people and there are groups there, so it fulfills like the primary requirement of being a good human, which is to be around other people all the time. So I don't give them quite that spiel. What I say is, look, you have to have self-confidence in order to go out and be able to socialize competently. So you have to have self-confidence from some particular root, and it doesn't come from sitting around in a cage with other monkeys. You don't get a bunch of monkeys in a cage and then they all teach each other manners. It's not true. You don't put 5 kids at a little teeny table by themselves and they teach each other, you know, dining etiquette and stuff. That's not true. It has to be taught by adults. And the kids don't learn social skills and adaptability and getting along and having friends from being in a great big prison with dozens of thousands of other kids who are also there under the same erroneous pretext and not learning much. And meanwhile, their education is neglected. So I tell the parents, look, if you put a good brick foundation so that the kid understands himself, the world around him, he feels smart when he's talking to people, he feels smart when he has any sort of conflict or any situation, he feels like he can understand what he feels, communicate it properly, understand what the other person's saying, even if they are in certain instances confused, because he has a clarity of understanding of knowing what other people are thinking, what they're like from having such a good educational background. So I say it's made possible. The social skills are made possible by a good education, a good sound mind. Once in a while you'll find someone who finds this plausible. Most people don't find it plausible. Most people think that there's the mind and there's reality. And people who are stuck in the mind are detached from reality. And people who are in reality don't care much about the mind. They believe it so firmly it's hard to get them out of it. But I don't need that to happen too much, because once I have 3, 4, 5 kids and I get them to reading levels 5 grades, 7, 8, 9 grades beyond their own, I mean, what's that? And they're doing math skills way, way ahead of their other classmates and stuff like this, and they're well balanced, intelligent, and competent, can talk and stuff. This is going to be the best evidence I need. So, here are the opening videos of Deseret Academy.